Hello, my friends. All right, so I have more of a typical reading today, and we are starting off with the Lion card. So you, my dear viewer, are a lion person. I'm not too familiar with this card, so let's see what it has to say. I think this is fire element. Yeah. And of course, there we go. Because I don't think I've ever read this card before, the pages were sticking together. Patient, regal, a complete master. Oh my goodness, a complete master. Wow, that's amazing. You're a complete master? Wow. Let's see what it says. The lion is a master of the fire element and the living mascot, of self-transformation. So you are really big on the self-transformation thing. A lion personality dedicates their life to personal and spiritual growth. This dedication inspires some and intimidates others. Therefore, the lion is respected by all, but known intimately by few. I can relate. Some mistake the lion as hard to access or aloof, yet those with a keener eye know better. Lions are observant, stealthy, and precise in their words and actions. They do not waste energy or resources. This card reminds us that self-mastery is available to all, no matter where our quest begins. Sorry, I don't know why. My throat is suddenly blocking up. You may be having some communication issues. When in balance, the epitome of peace and strength. When out of balance, withdrawn and too serious. To bring into balance, daily meditation and friendship. And yet, it's hard to make friends when you are this lion personality because there aren't a whole lot of lions out there. And I have no idea how we can find each other. In any case, I pulled some tea leaf cards to help you know if this is your reading. We have dog, far away. A distant friend is thinking of you. And flag, do not be tempted to lower your standards. That is also a red flag. So there may be some warning signs in some situation or relationship or what have you. We have teardrops, great personal sorrow. On the other hand, we have money path. A path with money is waiting for you to find it. That has got to be the most frustrating card I've ever seen. And you may be feeling very frustrated yourself over it. I wouldn't be surprised. Then we have bat, take care, enemies are working against you, and position of authority. It may be that this money path requires you to step into a position of authority, which will, of course, bring out those who envy you out of the woodwork. Bear, danger, especially in money matters. Dog barking, advice from a friend. So they have done some analysis of what dogs barking mean. And usually it means, hey, 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 who are you? What's going on? So perhaps that's what this advice from a friend is essentially saying to you. Drawing your attention to something or someone. And it looks like, well, this dog is looking at the bear, so they may be trying to alert you to some risk, danger in terms of money matters. I certainly hope that works out well for you. Even if it doesn't, you do have a money path somewhere. I've been wanting to use this deck. I don't usually use it for this kind of reading because the cards are too big. But it's been here waiting to be used, so I'm going to see what I can get out of it. only maybe 3 or 4 cards. And this is the Antique Anatomy Tarot, which of course is all about getting to the bone. And here we have 3 cards, so, wow, Ace of Wands again. And Ace of Swords in reverse. So a lack of clarity. You are really longing for some clarity, probably in regard to this money path that you have not yet found. And then we have this Ace of Wands, this desire for a fresh new start, passionate, creative passion, not necessarily in the sense of romance, but in the sense of something that you feel strongly about, that you love. So it could be your dream job or dream career. Then we have Judgment in the middle of all this. So the need to find some balance, to balance the material and the spiritual. Sorry, I was trying to combine the 2 words into one. And of course, with the Temperance card, there's always the implication of doing the impossible, because Temperance is typically pouring water from one container to another container at an angle, which is physically impossible. But Temperance is also an angel, so that I guess they can do whatever they want. And perhaps you can do impossible things as well. It does seem that some meditation is called for. It was referred to in the Lion, of course, but also the fact that you have this sword in reverse, the Ace of Swords in reverse, suggests that in order to get some clarity, you need some stillness, perhaps. You need to clear your mind. I'm seeing taking a walk in the woods. You don't have to be still to meditate. Moving meditation is very real and very effective. So don't think you have to sit still and watch your breath or gaze at a candle flame. Although if those work for you, do those. Only you will know what works best for you. All right, so what message do you need to hear? Why are you here? You have a question, or many questions. You can really only address one question, though, so. Oh, let's see. Nope. This is odd. So I'm being called to my Sacred Path cards. These are hard to work with because they're just so darn big. Well, that's interesting. Lighten up. You need some humor. And giving, roots, standing people. So we have nature again, but also giving, getting back to your roots, humor, opposites, roots and giving. Amazing. Numbers are 22 and 5, if those mean anything to you. So there's been a lot of talk about the Heyoka empath and the wisdom of humor. Not only the wisdom of humor, but the way that truths can be told with humor when they can't be told in a more straightforward way. Standing people, of course, are trees. And trees give a tremendous amount to us and to those around them. They maintain microclimates. If you've ever seen a hillside with trees on it, and I was fortunate enough to see a hillside that had a few trees on it but was otherwise mowed. It was pretty steep, and it seemed kind of silly, but people mowed this hillside. And the amazing thing was that it was obviously pretty dry. And when you looked at the hill, it was very, very clear that the trees were having an impact on the grass around them. You could see that the grass around the trees, even in the dryness, was more lush. It had obviously more access to water. It had a better color. It was growing taller. So the standing people, the trees, with their roots, they bring things up and nurture others around them. So perhaps you have that capability in your mastery. And perhaps you use humor to help nurture others and to help them see truths that they would find too uncomfortable to look at in a more straightforward way. Now, I have no idea what that has to do with your money path. I don't know if that's your question or not. But let's see what your message is. I don't know that it will address your question, but hopefully it will. Time to go. That's interesting. 45, time to go. Essential meanings, endings, completion, walking away from something because there is nothing else to learn or experience. The Oracle's message: you are at the end of one journey and have not yet begun the next. This is the moment to bless your experience thus far. Take stock of what you've learned. It's time to move on to new experiences and a new way of being. There's nothing left for you to do, be, or experience in your present circumstances. Take the risk and move on, even if you need to be in transition for a time. Your destiny is calling you. Protection message: even if it appears that you've reached the end of the line and all is lost, it isn't. You're in a situation that will resurface again later, so consider this a break rather than an ending. Destiny is in charge here. You lose nothing and gain everything when you surrender to that fact. Your soul knows that your destiny is unfolding with perfect timing and synchronicity. Your small self has doubts, but that is natural, as it doesn't have the map of your destiny, and the soul does. Spirit loves you. Trust that. All right. I know that's asking a lot of you. It sounds like you may be at the point of experiencing a loss. A financial loss, that is. But with this card of the money path, it sounds like something better will show up. I know that's not much comfort when you don't know what's going on and you are trying to deal with a lot of uncertainty, perhaps. But but it's still time to let go. Let's see if we can get some clarification. I'm feeling like there's some clarification needed. So it looks like some planning has been going on. Oh, no, wait a minute. That's 6. Ah, yes. Lots of visibility and apparent success. But, so this is the 9 of Pentacles. This is one of my self-development cards. I find strength to be the ultimate self-cultivation card. And 9 is, the 9 of Pentacles is somewhere between the strength and the Hermit card for needing to work alone, number 1, and number 2, needing to work to cultivate yourself, to get in touch with your own inner guide, to learn to trust yourself, and develop your own senses further. It looks like there's a need to work on these self-sabotaging things. A need to work on your ability to collaborate. No, look, here's the Hermit. Of course. So definitely a time for hermiting, which isn't really a word, but what the heck. On the one hand, you have this strong urge to be alone, to go within, to find your own inner light. And on the other hand, you're feeling the need to be a good collaborator, but right now you're not doing it. I shouldn't say you're not doing it. You're having difficulty with it. And it may be because you really just need to go within and get reacquainted with yourself and further develop yourself. There are aspects of yourself that you have not yet learned to listen to or recognize. And once you do the Hermit work, you become a guide to others. Here we have the Hanged Man. So there's a lot of sacrifice here for you. This is probably a radically different path than what you envisioned for yourself. And it's a bit spooky and creepy. You see the red eyes on that bat? So it calls for a different perspective, yes. But with a different perspective comes the need to sacrifice things that no longer suit you, that don't fit in this new worldview. They never fit. They just seemed to fit because of your more limited perspective. And here we have a Father of Pentacles in a crossing position. So this is potentially a very toxic figure who is probably controlling, very, very materialistic, selfish. And what's this one? 10 of Wands. So the Sun, potentially there's been a lot of false happiness, mania, or chemically induced happiness, perhaps. If you're not happy when you're sober, you're not happy. You're just faking it. And then we have the 10 of Wands. Well. Wow. Okay. So it sounds like this Father of Pentacles. They may be male or female. There's no gender in tarot. Not in my readings, anyway. All right. So this toxic, self-indulgent person. Definitely into the chemically induced happiness, and has been putting a lot of burdens on others, perhaps you. I'm not exactly sure who this Father of Pentacles is. Is it you before you became the Master? Or is it someone in your life that is really placing a lot of burdens on you? If you are choosing to escape this situation, this would be someone who would be very vindictive about you leaving, in whatever fashion that means. I don't know that it means leaving physically. It could just mean leaving emotionally. But they could easily become very angry about that. You're supposed to carry the burdens for them, and now you're refusing to do it. They are not going to tolerate that. Perhaps you are this Mother of Cups. So again, regardless of gender, you've been developing emotional intelligence, emotional integrity. You have the ability to nurture, and be soft. But you also have a lot of perception. You can see clearly when others are being manipulative. And you can see clearly that the situation that you're in is or has been binding you. But it's a choice. You can set those wands down. You can free yourself from this situation. My very first tarot readings, the devil came up repeatedly because I was in a bad marriage and I refused to see that I could get out of it. So it looks to me like you, whether it's a marriage or some other kind of situation or relationship, I mean, it could even be a job, but you believe you are bound. You believe, or you have believed it, that there's no way out. And that is a lie that you are telling yourself. I really didn't think there was any way out of my situation, and I did find a way. If you change your perspective, the Hanged Man, everything shifts. Everything shifts. You will find new possibilities, new potential. And if you commit to continuing to see more clearly, to see farther, you will continue to change your perspective and your understanding of the world and your position in it. And perhaps you will find that money path. For now, though, it's not time for movement. It's time for hermiting. So go within, find that inner light, that inner understanding, inner guide, inner wisdom, higher self, whatever it is that you believe in. And allow yourself to become more than you ever thought possible. It is, there's no indication here of physical movement, just the opposite. There is an indication of great change, But this change comes from, it's an inner change. So you need to go within and make the inner changes in how you see the world and yourself. This is how change happens in the real world. You have to change yourself inside before you can change your external world. So, perhaps you consider yourself to be a Heyoka empath, or perhaps that is the road that you will be traveling. I wanted to get back to those because I didn't want to neglect that message. So roots, giving, nurturing to others. Humor, opposites. Perhaps you are nurturing through humor, through contrasts. Nurture yourself so that you can grow tall and strong, and that will allow you to be more helpful, nurturing to others. I want to look again at this. There's a break. Some sort of a break here. Go within, find a new balance. And a new beginning. It's not going to be fast. But the possibility is there. I am wishing you all the best.